Ranking the best double fusions in Infinite Fusion. First up is Yamask. I think they found a pretty good way to make Yamask seem ferocious. I'm digging this. This Omastar fusion is very creepy, and I'm not sure what's going on here and why it's trying to break through its shell. Kingler's turning himself into Santa Claus, a very high Santa Claus with some oblong limbs. The Snorlax fusion is rather simple, but its simplicity is pretty perfect for what Snorlax actually represents. Leafeon is our first adorable fusion. They didn't change it very much, but the flowers are definitely a cute little touch. Talonflame, I really loved the idea that they were going for, but I just wasn't a huge fan of the execution at the end of the day. Now I have no idea what's going on with this Tangela fusion, but it looks like the world's scariest sock puppet, and that I am definitely down for. The only middle evolution on the entire list, Grovyle creates a prehistoric jester type with some cool shading. Chinchou doubles up here and becomes the Christmas lights of the sea. And honestly, that would be pretty cute to run into in the ocean. Now, I'm not actually a huge fan of this next one, but it gets a lot of points for creativity. And I respect that. Politoed just decides to go ham on the snacks, and becomes the ultimate belly drum Pokemon. Who doesn't love a chunky frog? Jumpluff makes an adorable little fairy queen. I don't think I've ever seen a happier Pokemon in my life. Now, I love this one because it kind of looks like a painting in a way, even if it's just a different version of Wordier. I think this is the Mega Butterfree that we deserved. Pretty damn majestic, but a little basic. Now, Blastoise is my favorite Pokemon, but this combination with Wartortle just isn't really my favorite. Still pretty cool though. This is kind of a cool looking Venusaur version, but it didn't change a whole lot, and there's definitely a bunch better fusions coming. This Shaggy Beaver just looks really fun, like that cool neighbor in cartoons that's always letting you do whatever you want and taking you on cool adventures. Tentacruel didn't exactly make the Kraken that I wanted, but still, this is a really cool deep sea squid, and definitely looks super dangerous. Now, some might say that this one should be ranked higher, but I just don't think that they changed Deoxys enough to lift this one higher in the ranks. Double Spinarak looks like it skipped several stages of its evolutions to get to its ultimate final form, and now it's actually serviceable. This one I kinda wanted to rank higher. I love its mischievous nature, as well as its dark vibes, but it's still too similar to Luxray, so I'm gonna leave it here. Double Flygon took our derpy little dragon boy, and actually turned him into something somewhat ferocious. I actually could see this being like a fourth evolution. At 43 we have a more ominous Charizard. It's not really all that different, but it definitely looks tougher. If you put two Spiritombs together, you basically just get an unstable portal with Sarlacc pit vibes. Still pretty awesome though. The only reason this Double Kyogre's not ranked higher is because it's just another form of the Primal, but as a standalone sprite with no context, it's pretty top tier. Double Tauros wins the award for most simple but also most effective, with only a few touches to make it a really great bull. Ah, Double Rattata, what a classic. You can't dislike the Rat King sending in all his minions to do his dirty work. Okay, I'm gonna come clean. This isn't even really a fusion, and it's only ranked this high because who doesn't love the Squirtle Squad? Double Joltik creates a massive Charge Stone of epic proportions. The sprite didn't change, but this is pretty cool. Double Xatu gets the Hawlucha treatment, creating a warlike tribal bird. I hope you're not afraid of ghosts, because Ghastly's only the first of 3 terrifying new versions of Pokemon ghosts. Jirachi's alternate sprite is crazy looking. It gets a little bit convoluted because there's so much going on, but it's still really fascinating. I wish they did a little bit more with the Mew sprite here, because DNA Mew inside of a pink bubble is such a cool idea. Double Scyther starts to give off some dinosaur vibes, but he's definitely an ultimate bug here to haunt your dreams. Speaking of dinosaurs, Meganium becomes the ultimate flower Brontosaurus. A really unique idea. I'm kinda torn on how much I like this double Sceptile, but the dancing maracas vibe makes it feel like it could definitely be a regional form. We're starting to get into majestic territory here with our double Vaporeon. I feel like this could actually be a water mythical. I was never a huge fan of Darkrai's original design, but Scarecrow here takes the original, sharpens it up, makes it look even tougher and even darker somehow. Double Haxorus is another one with just slight touches added to it, and it very clearly improves upon the original design. Double Kyurem was not what I would have ever expected, but something about this blocky mech-like ogre is incredibly intriguing and looks super badass. Our little Crocodile here went from being a dark, tough little croc to becoming an evil bastion of darkness and destruction. Much better version. Now this is my least favorite of the 3 Celestial Beasts, but Celestial Raikou still stands on its own as a really strong and cool looking beast of light. Finally our boy Magikarp gets some justice, and gets the real evolution that it probably should have had based on its biology. I actually really love this Cofagrigus one. It somehow took something that was supposed to be dark and scary to begin with, and made it even spookier. Okay, so Tyranitar already got a Mega, and this form looks kinda similar to it, but I do think it's a much better version of what could have been a Mega. I already thought that Arcanine was an amazing design to begin with, so you don't really need to do much. And here they just darken him up a bit, add some flames and some smoke, and I'm sold. Volcarona has to be one of the most underrated fusing Pokemon in this game, and its final form is the stuff of legends. This one gets a high rating because it's just so well put together. The static, the shimmery nature, plus the fact that they just made Porygon Z scary. Another example of a basic fusion, with subtleties that enhance the flavor of the typing. It's just a really cool looking spider. Now to tell you that this one took me by surprise was an understatement. Is this the form that Shuckle truly deserved? I don't know, but it's insane. Double Regigigas is basically just an insane Death Star fusion of all the different Regis combined into one. You can't not like it. Feraligator's another one I wasn't huge on the original design, but when combining two and creating a raptor, a really good raptor, I'm sold. I actually kind of feel bad ranking this in 13th, because without having seen the Gengar's fusion, I think this would be higher, but these rankings are based on competition. In my opinion, Pokemon games have never done a bear properly, so what Mammoth does with Ursaring here is a beautiful addition to the game. Moltres was always my least favorite of the 3 birds, but the flames on this sprite are just glorious. So well done. Aegislash is a sprite I didn't like initially, but has grown on me over the years, and I think this is truly the mega form that it deserved, just a kingly presence. Double Entei is the second Celestial Beast, more incredibly well done flames, just an alarming monstrosity. There's just something about the electricity on this double Zapdos that just keeps drawing in your eye and makes you forget that it actually looks like the Galarian form. This Machamp sprite is definitely the ultimate titan of the game. He feels like a god in his own right. I just kinda wish there weren't so many heads. This Armaldo sprite is incredibly underrated. It's equal parts terrifying, badass, and incredibly creative. I love this one. The final 5 are truly special. This Nidoking is unbelievable. I can't imagine a tougher monster in this game, honestly. And the Double Torterra is truly earth-shattering. The precision to detail, the attention paid to this sprite, it's just so beautiful. And this, my friends, is truly the Dragonite that we deserved. I just wish so much this had been in the original games. I would have used it everywhere. I wanted to rank this number 1, I really did. The celestial beauty of Suicune here is actually my favorite sprite of these bunch, but the next is truly better. The only critique I have of this is that it doesn't represent Pokemon at all, but the detail is world class. You can't deny it.